Well, going too far with a diet might actually have serious impacts on your mental health. New research shows that cutting too many calories can worsen depression.
And speaking of food, another study shows an anti-inflammatory diet may help people with cancer live longer. UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potthoff is back with us to talk about
Dr.
these
Potthoff.
topics.
Hey,
hello. So cutting calories, this study looked at 28,000 adults. How far is too far when it comes to cutting calories and having that be your diet?
Right, well, it sounds like there is like a line here that you don't want to cross. So there are some studies that showed that if you cut calories and you lose weight, your mental health can actually improve. This study of 28,000 folks looked at predominantly, like, this showed up in men, but when they were on these calorie cutting diets, especially if their diet continued to consist of, say, ultra processed food, high fat foods, their mental health actually took a hit. So we don't know if that has something to do with their diets that they were on, if it was the calorie cutting. Maybe they were calorie cutting, it wasn't working, and you can understand how that would be frustrating. But it sounds like there is maybe a gray area in here where, you know, some of this is good, maybe too much, not so much.
So it's a combination of things that has the potential to either trigger or worsen your depression. It's not necessarily one thing.
Right, at least in this study, it was at least the calorie counting and the fact that your diet was more on the ultra processed side. They saw less signal in folks that were calorie cutting, but they were eating, say, you know, green leafy vegetables, more of a Mediterranean type diet.
So you can't eat like a lasagna, and as long as it's 1,500 calories or whatever, it does matter what you eat?
Yeah, it does matter what you eat, although, I mean, lasagna is delicious. I can't imagine being depressed after that. But I think the take home here, though, is like if you're on a diet and it's not working for you, you're not feeling good about it, or maybe you're not losing weight, there are so many people who are expert in this. Like, you know, get hooked up with a nutritionist, talk to your primary care doctor, find a way to make this work for you. It is important that we're healthy, but you don't have to be in it alone.
Right, because if it doesn't work, that'll make you really down.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
So let's talk about the study that looked at the low inflammation diet. What is that, and what's its connection to cancer?
Yeah, so this is a preprint study, so I can't see the whole thing, but basically it's researchers looking at about 1,600 individuals who had stage 3 cancer. So this is bad colon cancer. It's where, you know, it's not only in the colon, but also the lymph nodes, not quite in other organs yet, so not stage 4. And those folks who got on treatment and then had a low inflammatory diet, which is typically you know, fruits and vegetables, things like that. What's not low inflammatory, pro-inflammatory, is ultra processed, high fat, simple sugars. If you look at those individuals who had like the low inflammatory diet, they did a much better job of not having recurrence of their cancer. Relative risk reduction about 87%, so pretty good there. There's some thoughts there. Colon cancer is in the gut. If you're eating pro-inflammatory foods, it's probably showing up there in the gut. So, you know, not enough where you can take this to the bank, but another study that shows, especially as it relates to colon cancer, a great diet and exercise, we talked about a couple weeks ago, are things patients can do to really kind of control their own trajectory if they're recovering from colon cancer.
So if possible, if you can afford it, stay on those outside areas of the grocery store. That's where you'll find that.
Yeah. The bookends are not going to have the stuff that you need, but yeah, fresh produce, you know, fish, less red meat.
Like a Mediterranean style
I mean, stuff
diet.
we've been talking about for a long time. It's just hard to do. We're all busy. It's so convenient. Those fast foods taste so good, but not as good for you.
Well, treat yourself to lasagna sometimes, son. All right. Thank you, Dr. Potthoff.
Thanks, Dr. Potthoff. Good to see you.
Coming up on Live at 4, Jacob takes a look at your first warn forecast, how much rain could fall over the next